Good morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to date in the years past, both recognized by other historians, but mainly things we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the Smart Device application, Today in History, What Happened Today in History, Historical Calendar, and the website onthisday.com. For links to those sources, the music done by Carrera, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar of the description below. I'm sorry, I'm trying to plug my phone in and everything. Anyway, I am A.O. Xander, and you are you. Today is Saturn's Day, aka Saturday, March 4th, 2023. So let's jump into the history today, shall we? Starting us off in the year 51, Nero, later to become Roman Emperor, was given the title Princeps Iuventitus, Head of the Youth. That's interesting. So even back then, politicians were hiding behind children to get some stuff done. Hey, it's an age-old tradition, so. And welcome to the show, good sir.
Well, thank you.
You are, of course,
the Golden Loon.
Yes, the legendary man, the myth, the legend himself. So, although you don't have your robe on correctly, there you go. You gotta, the whole reason is to cover the chest,
Aha.
So you
don't
don't get
a scarf on.
Yeah, but there's still a hole, If I can see through
In your head.
Well, yes, but if I can see through it, then the air can get there, I'm just trying to, just for your health,
Thank you. Taking good care of me, I can see that.
Gonna move on up to 1152. Frederick I Barbarossa was elected Holy Roman Emperor. Okay. So I wonder if that's where Barbarossa comes from, like the name of the country or whatever,
I have no idea, but I would assume that'd be a good assumption.
You know what? Namesake of Barbarossa. No, that's Ardric. Operation Barbarossa was named after the Holy Roman Emperor Frederick Barbarossa, but that's the Nazi invasion of the Soviet Union. Well, was Barbarossa even a country? I don't remember. The name is in my head, but probably because of Operation Barbarossa, so I don't know. Anyway, let's move on up to 1215. King John of England made an oath to the Pope as a crusader to gain the support of Innocent III, who I believe was Pope at the time. So Pope Innocent III.
Okay.
So he made an oath to crusade to get the support of the Pope. Standard crusade stuff.
Yeah.
You got another historic event. 1461, Edward Plantagenet laid claim to the throne of England as Edward IV in London. All right.
What a name.
Yeah, that's probably why he's changed his name to Edward IV.
Yeah.
And 1492, King James IV of Scotland concluded an alliance with France against England. Yep. Unfortunately, that it seems that because Scotland is now part of the UK, that it didn't end well. So, eventually it didn't, anyway. 1522, Anne Boleyn made her debut as the English at the English court as the Green Castle Pageant, or at the Green Castle Pageant. Why can't I read today? All right, so Queen Anne Boleyn, made her debut. Okay.
Lucky her.
Yeah. Thimblehead here, 1570. His hat looks like a thimble. And it looks like it's made of felt. It looks like a very soft, comfy thimble. I want that hat. Seriously. It's like a luxury form of the Abraham Lincoln hat, but without the brim. 1570, King Philip II banned foreign Dutch students. Oh.
What do you had against the Dutch?
I don't know, but, he's a thimblehead. What do you expect from him? So, 1628, England's King Charles I granted a royal charter to Massachusetts Bay Colony. All right. So that allowed them to exist, I guess. So, we got a declaration of war, 1665. English King Charles II declared war on the Netherlands. All right, so the successor to Charles I, I believe, 1628 to 1665. So that's one lifetime.
Yeah.
So, and then 1675, John Flamston was appointed the first astronomer royal of England.
Astronomer.
Yeah, so all the way back then they started getting into astronomy and all that whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
So, no, I'm saying that for the viewers. It's been going on for several hundred years.
Of course.
Galileo Galilei really was the one who started all that, but he was largely ignored until later on in his life, or maybe even afterwards. I don't know the exact specifics. Yeah. But he was excommunicated by the Pope.
The truth comes out way later.
Yeah.
And you were considered nuts at the time.
Yep. 1681, English Quaker William Penn received a charter from Charles II, making him sole proprietor of the colonial American territory, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, William Penn.
William Penn, yeah. And he is not the Quaker Oats guy. The Quaker Oats guy is just like a generic, caricature of what a Quaker would look like. William Penn being a living caricature himself of what a Quaker would look like. So, I mean, he's a Quaker.
The style of the day.
He fits the mold. So, yeah. We got another historic event, 1774, first sighting of Orion Nebula by William Herschel. All right. Dang. Orion Nebula. So let's take a look at that here. Orion Nebulae. Huh. Yep, it looks like a nebula.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Space is beautiful. So, it's like so many people are like all looking down on their phones and everything. They have no clue what's going on right above them. It's really sad.
Did you follow any of the Aurora Borealis the other day that was supposed to be extraordinary?
I didn't even know it was happening more than usual.
Yeah, it was really going on. In fact, a commercial pilot was up there, and it was so fantastic. He did a 360 in the sky, so all the passengers could see it.
Oh, that's awesome!
Isn't that cool?
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a great pilot.
Now, by 360, you mean he did like a
He
donut?
did a circle.
Okay, so he's not like. That would be terrifying.
They all loved it, then puked.
Well, I mean, you said 360. Like, is he?
Well, yeah,
is he doing it?
In
Is
the
he?
sky. He's
Yeah.
doing a jet.
So is he spinning like a top? It says like, please fasten your seatbelts. I'm going to show you something cool. My God.
Seatbelt light is on.
I feel sorry for whoever was in the bathroom. Whoa, what just happened? Anyway, 1789, the first U.S. Congress met and declared Constitution in effect. 9 senators and 13 representatives. All right. Yeah. What was it? The Articles of Confederation. The anniversary of the ratification was just a few days ago, when the 13th colony, Maryland, signed it, and it became official, and that's when we became the United States of America. So then 1797, John Adams was inaugurated as the second president of the United States. Thomas Jefferson, second vice president. All right. So, yeah. And then let's see here, 1801, Thomas Jefferson was the first U.S. president to be inaugurated in Washington, D.C. Because before that...
Now, was he the third president?
Third president right there, Thomas Jefferson.
Okay.
So, but yeah, at one point our capital was in Philadelphia.
Right.
Then it was moved to New York. Then I believe it went back to Philadelphia, and then they made Washington D.C.
Yeah, they made its own thing there.
Yeah. So.
Which now they're trying to make a state.
Well, Puerto Rico should be a state, if anything.
Why?
Why not?
Okay, it's not. So what you're saying it should be. Why?
Because they don't get to vote in certain things that have precedence over them. It's essentially, like taxation without representation. We tax them, not as much as we tax states. A lot of people have gone to Puerto Rico to flee a lot of, taxes. You're not tax evading, but, they get a lot less taxes and such. But they still get taxed, but they can't vote for things like the presidency.
They can't vote in a national election, right?
Yeah, that's bogus.
No, they're not a state.
They should be. So, but speaking of states, did you hear that what's going on with Oregon and Idaho and Washington? They're trying to combine.
I thought was it Oregon or Washington? No.
I think
it was Oregon.
I think it's straight down the center of Oregon and Washington, the desert side, merging with Idaho.
Yeah, they're trying to. The people in, let's just use one state, Oregon, say that eastern part of Oregon.
Yeah.
They want to, because they do not feel they're any part of the same as the coastal
Seattle
Oregon.
and Portland and all that crap.
Yeah, so they want to join.
Yeah.
Idaho. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I did hear.
Yeah.
Because they feel more politically aligned with Idaho.
And we're not talking politics. This is actually
that's what they're
this is
trying to
actually living history right now.
Yeah,
this
that's
is
what people are doing. They feel they're more politically aligned with Idaho than there are with Oregon.
Yep. Anyway, let's get back into it here.
Yeah.
1809, James Madison became the first U.S. president inaugurated in U.S.-made clothes. Well, look at that.
Yeah.
So I guess everybody else had British-made clothes. I mean,
Well, I guess the manufacturing wasn't
French.
here. Everything had to be imported.
Probably French-made clothes, stuff like that.
Could be from anywhere.
I remember, you remember the movie Maverick with Mel Gibson? Like the card shark, it's all about card game and everything. And then then she shrunk his shirt, which was made in Paris, France, that he picked up in San Francisco. You can't just go and get a shirt like this.
I do remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I just remember it because I saw that movie not too long ago.
Oh.
So he made a whole big deal about his shirt. It's like, yeah, I mean, I understand why he's mad,
Yeah.
It's his lucky shirt, come on. Anyway, but yeah, so maybe because of the whole thing of, with us being allied with French, maybe we got, all of our clothes were French for the most part. Anyway, 1817, James Monroe was inaugurated as the 5th president of the United States. And yeah, this is as I said before, because this all seems weird that we're talking about all these inaugurations and everything, whereas today election season is later on in the year, or it's already happened, in November.
Yeah.
That was changed. It used to be in January or February, it used to be election season used to be in January, and then they changed that when they put in that other amendment that limited presidential terms to 2 terms because of Franklin Delano Roosevelt having 4 terms.
Yeah.
So.
I didn't know they changed that, though.
Yeah, no, election season, they changed it to November, for, I don't know, whatever reason. So, but yeah, because
it can be inaugurated first of the year, and then you have practically your whole year.
Yeah.
You're already elected.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're ready to go the next year.
Yeah, so I guess, January to November, because by the time you're inaugurated, it's already, March, So November, by the time you're inaugurated, it's January. So I guess the new way is a lot more efficient. I don't know. Anyway.
It puts you in office closer to
the new
the
year.
Full year.
Yeah. But speaking of inaugurations, we got another one in 1825. John Quincy Adams was inaugurated as the 6th U.S. president. And then 1829, Andrew Jackson as the 7th. All right, good old Andrew Jackson. What a nutcase. And then Martin Van Buren in 1837, inaugurated as the 8th president of the United States of America. Boom, 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 boom. Well, actually, 1837 as well, Chicago became incorporated as a city. Well, look at that. Cool. Happy birthday, Chicago.
Yeah.
And finally, to break up the monotony of inaugurations, we got a theater premiere here in 1841. Diane Bouchioquot's stage comedy London Assurance opened at Theatre Royal, Covent Garden in London. And then we're going to go right back into inaugurations in 1841. The longest U.S. presidential inauguration speech, 8,443 words, by William Henry Harrison. I think that's a bit long-winded there. And then 1845, James K. Polk was inaugurated as the 11th. All right.
Good old Polk.
Yep. And 1949, U.S. President Zachary Taylor delayed his swearing-in and inauguration ceremony for 1 day due to religious reasons, rising to the false belief by some that Senator David Atchison, President pro tempore, technically assumed the office of president for 1 day. Huh. Okay, so we have an interim for a little bit. And in 1861, Abraham Lincoln, the great emancipator, inaugurated as the 16th U.S. president. Nice.
This is an important day for inaugurations.
Yes, it is.
Back in the day.
And
before they changed it.
Well, here's a couple other ones. In 1861, the Confederate States adopted Stars and Bars flag for the U.S. Civil War. So the Confederate flag. And while that was going on as well, U.S. President Abraham Lincoln, on the day of his inauguration, he opened a government printing office. So, I wonder if that's his first act as Commander-in-Chief, opening up a printing office. Because that's big. That's bringing word to the people,
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
2 years later, the territory of Idaho was established in 1863.
Really, Idaho. We're just talking about
Yeah,
Idaho.
Idaho, Idaho, we all Idaho. Potato! Yeah. Ooh, 1865, Abraham Lincoln was inaugurated for his second term as U.S. President. The man who would assassinate him weeks later, John Wilkes Booth, was photographed attending the inauguration. Holy crap, dude. He's up there. Whoa.
Oh, man.
Let me open up a bigger picture of this. Whoa, man. Holy crap.
How close he is to him.
Right there.
Yeah.
Wow. Scouting him out. Getting a bead for the back of his head. So,
I'll bet you he was there hoping to get a good shot at him to kill him on his inauguration.
You know what?
He didn't get.
Maybe.
I mean, this is conjecture, obviously, but there he is, and wow.
Yeah.
That's a photo and a half.
Yeah. 1869, we got another inauguration here. Ulysses S. Grant was inaugurated as the 18th U.S. President. Good old Grant.
Yeah.
Served in the Civil War.
General Grant.
Yep. Then we got an execution, 1870. On command of Louis Riel, Thomas Scott was executed by a firing squad. Riel rejected all appeals and requested to intervene in an attempt to demonstrate to the Canadian government that the meditation must be taken seriously. So, man, poor Thomas Scott. I know of a YouTuber called Tom Scott. He does a lot of good videos and such. You know, very informative and educational. So it's just like, oh no, Tom, no. Oh, no, different Tom. But still, yeah, like, despite everybody saying don't kill him, he's just like, no, we have to take him seriously. It's like, dude, you're murdering people. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, if anybody needs to be taken seriously now, Louis, it's you. Louis Riel. Murderer. 1877, Pyotr Ivanovich Tchaikovsky's ballet Swan Lake had its world premiere, performed by the Bolshoi Ballet in Moscow. Swan Lake, I know about that.
Yeah.
Really good. Carmen, the first the anniversary of the first show of Carmen. We reported on that a couple days ago.
Ah.
So.
Okay, yeah, that's a biggie also.
Yeah. 1881, here we go with more inaugurations. James A. Garfield inaugurated as the 20th President of the United States of America. How many times can one man say inaugurated before he wants to jump off a cliff? I swear to God. 1881, South African politician Paul Kruger accepted ceasefire during First Boer War. All right. He was the third president of the South African Republic. Now, I don't know anything about the Boer Wars beyond knowing that there's two of them.
And you know more than I do right there.
Yeah. So, 1885, Grover Cleveland inaugurated as the first U.S. Democratic president since the Civil War. Huh. Well, seems like it didn't take long for us to forget the lessons of the past. Don't trust the Democrats. Got another inauguration here. In 1889, Benjamin Harrison inaugurated as the 23rd U.S. president. And then 1890, the longest bridge in Great Britain, the Forth Bridge Railway, at 1,710 feet in length, was opened in Scotland by the Prince of Wales, later King Edward the Seventh. So the Forth Bridge, Scotland, Forth Bridge, Britain. You know what? I want to keep that nebula picture. So let's see here. Images. Okay. So it's a bridge with bridge-like qualities and characteristics. Looks all right. It's funny, like these shorter ones, they look like normal, like, you know, like the bridges you see over streams in the country. Yeah. So it's just like we got a big one, little one, big one, little one.
Well, that's tying it back to the base.
Yeah.
Just like the little ones tie it to the ground on each side of a small river.
Yeah.
That's tying to that big support system.
It's interesting.
Yeah, what year was that again?
That was in 1890.
Boy, that's pretty sophisticated stuff. 1890.
Yeah. Yeah. I think what was it like?
Where's our engineer when we need one?
Yeah. We got a music premiere in 1895. Gustav Mahler conducted the premiere of his incomplete Second Symphony, Resurrection, in Berlin, Germany, with the Berlin Philharmonic. Complete version debuted in December. Huh. All right.
Hey, what do we got next?
We got another inauguration. 1897, William McKinley was inaugurated as 25th U.S. President.
Getting up there.
Yep. Got a theater premiere in 1905. Gerhard Hauptmann's play Elga premiered in Berlin.
Now, there's some hair for you.
Yeah, like
He's got wings.
yeah, looks like he's in the middle of like taking off or like falling off. Like it's maybe like right in the middle of one of the legs in his chair breaking. Whoops, you know. Got another historic event. In 1909, William Howard Taft was inaugurated as the 27th U.S. president during a 10-inch snowstorm.
Ah.
Dang. But not to. You know what? There's no way I can say what I want to say without seeming very rude. But like he had insulation.
Insulation?
The man looks like a walrus. You know, I don't think 10 inches of snow is going to do anything for him. Yeah, we got another inauguration, 1913. Woodrow Wilson, inaugurated as the 28th U.S. president, and he is the scum-sucking piece of crap who signed into law the Federal Reserve and the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service. That he, before being president, agreed prior to, with all the people who were signing or with the people in the Congress or whatever, to get that to the president's desk. He agreed to sign it into law before, he got in. That's underhanded crap.
A lot of campaign people. If you vote for me and I become president.
Well, no, he didn't stand on that. He didn't stand on that as a campaign thing. He was a
all under
black.
the table.
It was a under the table deal. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, like I gotta show you that one.
He's one of our most awful presidents. Sorry.
Yeah. No, like let's see if I can find this really quick. The American Dream, which I'm gonna post a link to this video in the underbar as well, just so people can watch this entire one. But let's see if I can find this. Well, I'll keep this up and I'll show it to you after the actual show, because I want to keep this going here. 1918. Yeah, remember I was talking to you about this? Right here. Wear a mask or go to jail.
Oh, yeah.
1918.
Yeah.
The Spanish flu.
Yeah.
Even back then, people were as nutty as they are today. So I don't think anything today is anything new. It's just repeating the past. Because we never appreciated history. We never looked at history and studied it and learned from it, and now we're repeating it. Well, we did 3 years ago, starting. 1918, the U.S. Army mess cook Private Albert Gitchell of Fort Riley, Kansas, became the first documented military cases of Spanish flu. Start of worldwide pandemic, killing 50 to 100 million. Some sources cite date as March 11th. So, but yeah, this is when it was first starting. Shortly, just near the end of the First World War, which the Spanish flu might have actually been a, reasoning to in the war, because, now you're fighting germs and other people. No, we got to focus, our efforts, because it was the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month that ended the First World War, which was intentional because 4 years prior, that same exact date, on calendar date to date, boom, 4 years precisely was how long the war was.
Oh, okay.
So, so September 11th is when it started.
So we had this discussion once before.
Yes. Yeah. Well, World War II is the same thing. World War II started, September 1st, 1939, and ended, at least in Germany, or in Europe, September 2nd, 1945. And it went on until, August or whatever. Oh, no, it went, September...
For the Japanese?
Yeah.
Not sure.
But yeah, as people went crazy. Right here, there's a sign: wear a mask or go to jail. Straight up, that's absolutely insane. But that's how we acted today.
That was called the Spanish flu. Why wasn't ours called the Chinese flu?
Oh, because it's politically incorrect.
I know.
Because feelings, Anyway, we got another inauguration in 1921. Warren G. Harding was inaugurated as the 29th President of the United States. And in 1922, the first vampire film, Nosferatu, an unauthorized adaptation of Bram Stoker's Dracula, premiered at the Berlin Zoological Garden in Germany. Mm-hmm. All right, first vampire film, 101 years ago on this date. So, yeah. And it was a plagiarist, what's the word? It was plagiarized.
Plagiarism?
Yeah. It was a copy. Unauthorized adaptation.
Yeah.
Of Dracula.
Yeah, exactly what it is. It was unauthorized.
Yep. Yeah. Anyway, 100 years ago on this date, in 1923, Vladimir Lenin's last article in Pravda about Soviet bureaucracy. And Lenin died that year, right? 1924. So, but yeah, so he had like another year or so left in him. We got a contract of interest. 1927, Babe Ruth became the highest paid player in MLB history when he signed a 3-year, $70,000 per season contract with the New York Yankees, which is pennies today.
Yeah, we just had that last week or something. So what's the deal?
Let's see here. It was 1927. 1927.
Yeah, 3 years, $70,000.
Yeah, and I have far too many tabs up going on here, so I'm going to move this over here. All right. It's about it's $70,000 in 1927 is equivalent in purchasing power to about $1,203,557 today. So $1.2 million per year, which is a nice healthy number, but might be low today. I'm not sure how much.
Baseball? Oh, that's almost minimum wage.
Oh God, wow. Another inauguration. Herbert Hoover, 1929, was inaugurated as the 31st U.S. president. Yep, and went on to be known as a bad president because it was right near the end of the right at the beginning of the Great Depression.
Oh, that's right.
The Roaring Twenties, and then 1929 September. Black Friday. Which lasted for like 10 years, affected the entire world. Like homeless places all over the country, they had a nickname, in the media. They're called Hoovervilles.
Oh.
Like all these tent cities and everything,
But who was the president before him? He would be the one that would be more likely to be...
Well, nobody looks at the past. They just look at what's in front of them. That's the problem,
Whoever that was,
Mm-hmm.
if they changed a lot of different... processes,
policies, laws, regulations.
Policies, he would be the culprit one. He's coming into it and getting hammered. He's got to fix it now.
Yep.
He's the fix-it guy.
Yep. Poor guy. Anyway, at least he has a dam named after him. So.
That's right. Damn.
It's just Hoover, damn. 1929 as well, Republican Charles Curtis became the first Native American to be Vice President of the United States. Well, look at that. At least they have second in command. Now we just need one to get, to become president, and then we'll finally, be caught up to speed with around half of the African nations, Like I said this the other day, like, we're bad when places like Zimbabwe have, Zimbabwean leaders. Why have we never had a Native American leader to be, leader of this nation?
We've had negative leaders in my opinion.
No, Native American leaders.
I thought you went with negative.
No, like I'm saying native leader, like people born, like, not just people born here, because like, I was born here, but like, the actual, like, Native American ethnicity.
Yeah.
When are we going to have, one of those as our leader? We're behind half of Africa with that, That's kind of pathetic.
Well, they're not even coming along in a small degree.
I know.
That's a good question. How many Native Americans do we have in Congress?
Yeah.
Today?
Yeah.
Probably none.
So that's why I'm going, that's why I'm ranting and raving about, the first Native American to be vice president. Really? It took until 1929? Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm happy it happened, but,
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get the next step. Come on, Anyway, we got some cricket history. 1931, Don Bradman was bowled for a rare first ball duck by Herman Griffith, 4-50, on the last day of 5th cricket test versus West Indies in Sydney. Windies won by 31 runs, but lost series to Australia, 4-1. What the?
Cricket.
What the hell did I just say?
I have no.
Rare first ball duck. What the hell is a ball duck?
I don't know.
Like.
It's crazy.
Is he throwing eggs at him or something?
It's a language within a language.
Yeah. 1933, Franklin Delano Roosevelt was inaugurated as the 32nd U.S. president, pledged to pull the U.S. out of depression. We have nothing to fear but fear itself and giant spiders. We have the Hindenburg disaster. Well, it's not the disaster. Why is it saying the disaster? 1936, the first flight of the airship Hindenburg at Friedrichshafen, Germany. So this was the first flight. This is not the disaster. So the picture and the title are wrong.
No. Wait a minute. Wasn't his first flight ended up being a disaster?
No.
I thought it was his first flight.
No, it flew for a while, and then it went to like hold on a second, Hindenburg flights. Let's see here. How many successful flights did the Hindenburg make? Hindenburg made 62 successful flights before gasoline in on May 6, 1937.
Okay.
So, no,
Been around a long time.
Yeah.
62 flights, that's a lot.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, it was proven to be all right. Like, it wasn't like a Titanic or anything. So, that's why, like, the whole Hindenburg thing, it's a freak accident, and it only happened because of our greed. They used what was it, hydrogen?
Yeah.
Yeah, they used hydrogen, which is obviously extremely flammable.
Very flammable.
But who had the world supply of helium? We did. Who did not sell helium to Germany? We didn't.
Well,
Who caused the Hindenburg?
there's a theory
We did.
that was sabotaged by the Germans to blow it up
Why?
because of what you just cited.
Oh. Okay, well,
And again, that's just a theory.
okay, well, that makes sense. Anyway, let's move on up to the Academy Awards. We got the 9th Academy Awards in 1937. The Great Ziegfeld, Paul Mooney, and Louis Rayner won. All right. 1941, Serbian Prince Paul visited Adolf Hitler. What a name, Paul. Hi, I'm a Serbian prince. What's your name? Paul. Like, what a boring name for a prince, Like,
Wow, why don't you slam the guy?
I think I just did. 1943, 15th Academy Awards. Mrs. Miniver, James Cagney, and Greer Garson won. All right. Ooh, 1944, the first U.S. bombing of Berlin.
Ooh.
Yep. Then, 1945, Finland declared war on Nazi Germany. Finally. So they were forced to ally with them because the Soviets were trying to push up, the whole Winter War thing.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, during Operation Barbarossa, they had Finland act as belligerents to cause a crisis, up at their border. So that way, people forces had to stay up there, to defend, against or whatever.
They responded to it. The Germans responded to it.
No. Operation Barbarossa was a German invasion of the Soviet Union.
Right.
Germany and Finland were allied at the time. Germany had Finland become belligerent, so that way the Soviet Union would be preoccupied at that border, so they would have no reserves to be going to send back down south to counteract the Germans.
Okay.
So, but yeah, Finland declaring war on Nazi Germany. That's that really shows how the war has changed sides. Because Finland had nothing. Like the Soviets were always, still going after them.
Yeah.
So it wasn't good for Finland, but they had that sniper in the Winter War, and it cost the Soviets dearly. But yeah. Anyway, 1945 as well, United Kingdom's Princess Elizabeth, later Queen Elizabeth II, joined the British Auxiliary Transport Service as a driver. So yeah, during the last couple months of the Second World War, she did serve.
Oh,
so,
yeah, we talked
as
about
a princess.
We talked about this before.
Yeah.
She was really, really incredible woman.
Yep. 1949, Andrei Vyshinsky succeeded Molotov as Soviet foreign minister. 1965, David Attenborough became the new controller of BBC Two. David Attenborough, why does the name sound so familiar?
Yeah, Attenborough, sure. He did all those, what do you call
them? Documentaries?
Yeah.
Okay.
But, real life, not real life, wildlife documentaries, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, okay, I remember now. Wait, 1966, got some music history. John Lennon said, "We, the Beatles, are more popular than Jesus." So in response, God gave them Yoko Ono. Frickin' howling chihuahua. 1967, World Ladies Figure Skating Champion in Vienna, won by Peggy Fleming of the U.S. Alright. I recognize that hairstyle anywhere. The bob, or weave, or whatever it's called.
No idea.
1 year later, 1968, the Third Academy of Country Music Awards, Glenn Campbell and Lynn Anderson won. 1968 as well, Italian boxer Nino Benvenuti regained world middleweight title with a 15-round point decision over U.S. champion Mil Griffith at Madison Square Garden in New York. Last of famous trilogy fights. Or trilogy of fights. What does that mean, trilogy of fights? Like, they came in threes or something?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Got another boxing
I don't
title.
know if they fought each other 3 times or...
What is a trilogy of fights? Let's look this up. What is trilogy? Fighters get to know each other immediately or intimately over the course of multiple engagements. They learn each other's tendencies, strengths, and weaknesses, and somehow a trilogy seems particularly tidy. 3 fights are usually enough to establish decisively who is the better man.
Okay, so they would challenge each other to 3 fights.
Okay.
So they could learn each other's...
moves and,
offense, defense.
the rope-a-dope.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And that was the end of it there, I guess.
Yeah.
The end of that era.
Yeah. 1968, Joe Frazier took his record to 20-0 and captured vacant world heavyweight boxing title. Stopped Buster Mathis in 11th round technical knockout at Madison Square Garden in New York City.
Joe Frazier.
Frazier. And while that was all going on, 1968 as well, Martin Luther King Jr. announced plans for Poor People's Campaign.
Yeah.
All right.
We need another one of him back.
Yes, we do. Very badly right now. Him and Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, we need an army. So, 1974, Harold Wilson replaced resigning Edward Heath as British Premier. Okay. We got the second People's Choice Awards in 1976. John Wayne and Katharine Hepburn won Motion Picture, and Telly Savalas and Carol Burnett won TV. What was his actual name? Marion. That's right,
Yeah.
Marion Robert Morrison.
Yeah.
What a name, Marion. Who the hell names their kid Marion?
I know.
Who the hell names their child? Who names their son Sue? A boy named Sue.
A boy named Sue.
So. All right, and we got another television premiere here in 1979. The Ordeal of Patty Hearst, television movie directed by Paul Wenkos, premiered on CBS. All right, yeah, it has to be involving her getting kidnapped and getting
the whole bit.
Yeah, brainwashed and all that stuff. 1979, Pope John Paul II published his first encyclical, Redemptor Hominis. Which let's see here. As I've said before, encyclicals are essentially like holy memos. Like let's see. Redemptor Hominis is the name of the first encyclical written by Pope John Paul II. It lays a blueprint for his pontificate in its exploration of contemporary human problems and especially their proposed solutions found in a deeper understanding of the human person.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
That sounds really neat, and I want to learn a little bit more of that. So I'm going to add the link to this wiki in the underbar, and I'm going to move this over here for my own future reading, because that's awesome. So, and let's see here. Moving on up to 1980, the 40th hat trick in Islander history was done by Mike Bossy. Cool. While that was going on, Robert Mugabe's Zimbabwean African Union, the Zimbabwe African National Union Patriotic Front, or ZANU-PF, came to power. Are you hungry?
Apparently so.
Came to power, winning the parliamentary election in Zimbabwe, making Mugabe Zimbabwe's first black prime minister. What was I talking about earlier? We're behind freaking Zimbabwe? Are you kidding me? Yeah, no, I was wondering what the hell that noise was. Like, was it somebody gunning it on the freeway, or are you hungry? Like,
thanks for pointing it out too. I appreciate that on the air.
Well, it just says that you need to eat more.
A little growl here and there, never heard.
1984, tennis legend Martina Navratilova. Let's just be thankful it wasn't a fart.
No, you be thankful.
Yeah, I am. Retained her WTA Tour Championship in New York City, defeated Chris Evert 6-3, 7-5, 6-1 for her 5th overall championship title. And I just realized something that, like I haven't rattled off numbers like that in a while. So we're getting back into tennis. So no,
Oh no.
Remember September?
Yeah.
Oh God. 1986, Alan Border completed twin test tons, 140 and 114. Asterix versus New Zealand cricket. So
Cricket.
Yep. Ooh, the Louvre Pyramid, 1989. The Louvre Pyramid, designed by I.M. Pei, was inaugurated by French President Francois Mitterrand in Paris. And
yes, there was a whole uproar when that thing was done because it
Yeah.
just didn't match. You know, they got this modern-looking pyramid in front of it. And
yeah,
it is weird sitting there looking at it. I gotta say.
it is, because that's an old, like, Victorian era or something, like,
Yeah.
palace.
Yeah.
Like, we're
Exactly.
Not, yeah.
It does look weird, but I'm glad I got to see it.
What's cool, I'm pretty sure you know this, but like I've seen a picture of the interior, and there's an upside down pyramid that goes inside.
Trying to think. I know you go down into it. You go down escalators and whatnot.
Inside like, let's see here. Where is it? Yeah, right here.
Oh,
So it's a diamond. So like it
Okay.
goes down here, and that's
Is
the
that-
opposite of the big
Is
pyramid.
that just a reflection, or is
No.
that
No, that's glass.
Well, it didn't impress me. I don't remember it.
Huh? Maybe you didn't go through
I
that.
remember that foyer going down, but I just don't remember that part of it. Huh.
Maybe it's a recent addition.
Yeah, maybe. I just you're looking at so much you don't remember everything.
Yeah, it is the Louvre.
Yeah.
Trying to see if I can tell.
It's awesome. It just doesn't match up with the whole
You know what? No. Yes? I don't know. Like, because it looks like there's a platform right here, which would make an inside pyramid impossible, at least from this side. I don't know. I'm going to have to go there one day. But, if that ever
Well,
happens.
that's cool. I'll give you that.
If it doesn't get
Really
nuked before, Russia or
I
something.
enjoyed Paris immensely. It was really an incredible city.
Yep, lucky. No. Anyway, 1992, we got a music concert. Singer-songwriter Paul Simon taped an acoustic concert performance for MTV Unplugged at Kaufman Astoria Studios in Queens, New York. Huh. We got the first ESPY Awards, 1993. Michael Jordan and Monica Seles won. And I said that wrong. Michael Jordan! You got to do that. Like he's...
And Monica Salas, get her name right.
Salas. I never
she
heard
won
of
an
her.
award.
So.
Yeah, she's a tennis player.
She
got
that's probably
stabbed on the. Someone came out of the fans and stabbed her in the back.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I knew there was two sports. There was a stabbing with ice, or not stabbing, but an assault with involving ice skating. Like, somebody's bodyguard, and then she got stabbed. This the Monica Seles.
Yeah.
So, anyway, 1995, we got a boxing title fight. George Foreman lost WBA boxing title, refusing to fight Tony Tucker. So you guys, he just, it was like, what's the term? Not forfeited. Did he forfeit? Or
I don't recall that, to tell you the truth. But he said he refused to fight him, so I guess he relinquished his crown if he wouldn't fight him.
so would that be called a forfeit, or just like?
Well, it could be. Yeah, I guess.
Anyway, in 1997, U.S. President Bill Clinton banned federally funded human cloning research. On the public level, of course. We all know that, they have, like, human clones in order to get, like where'd that one, we were talking about that the other day, where'd that guy get his 8 hearts, In the year 2000, 14 Soul Train Music Awards, Prince, Whitney Houston, DMX, and Mary J. Blige won. DMX, didn't he die recently?
I have no idea.
Yeah, 2 years ago, 2021 of heart attack.
How old was he? Couldn't have been too old.
50? Yeah.
No, older than I thought. Okay.
Yeah. Dang. We also have 20th Soul Train, the 20th Soul Train Music Awards in 2006. Jamie Foxx, Destiny's Child, and John Legend won. All right. Got an election of interest, 2012. Vladimir Putin won Russian presidential election amid allegations of voter fraud. And yeah, that's how he got back, because he was president, in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And then he got replaced by somebody else, and then he came back, and he's been there ever since.
Yeah.
Then we got a television premiere, 2013, British TV drama Broadchurch, created by Chris Chibnall, starring David Tennant and Olivia Colman, premiered on ITV. Yeah, David Tennant, Doctor Who, one of the doctors. 2013 as well, the Papal Enclave began to select the successor of Pope Benedict the 26th. Yeah, they shouldn't have elected him in the beginning. Really bad.
Why do you say that?
Because he stepped down. You can't step down as the voice of God. Come on.
You're still grinding on that.
Yes. 2014, Chinese Premier Li Keqiang declared war on pollution at the National People's Congress. Okay, good luck with that. Especially in China, yeah.
Yeah.
How droll. 2018 and 90th Academy Awards: Best Picture, The Shape of Water; Best Director, Guillermo del Toro; Best Actor, Gary Oldman; Best Actress, France Miss McDormand. Huh. Gary Oldman. Well, where's Gary Youngman? Where's Gary Middleman? You know. We have 2019. Canadian Minister Jane Philpott resigned in protest at Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's and the government handling of scandal involving bribes from engineering firm SNC Lavalin. This is just a few years before the honkening, too.
Yeah.
So, man, this Trudeau guy is just... 2019 as well, U.S. Democrats announced a wide-ranging corruption investigation into President Donald Trump. Here we go again.
What a surprise.
Leave him alone, dude. Like, I am not a Trump supporter, you know. I'm not a Biden supporter. I'm not a Clinton supporter. I'm not any of those people's supporter. But just stop and fix the problems, you know.
Yeah.
2020, Italian Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte announced all sport in Italy will be played behind closed doors for at least a month in an effort to contain COVID-19. Isn't that weird? Like, can you imagine? It's like, you know, watching a sport in a giant empty stadium.
Yeah.
You know, just, wow. Like, there's no cheering. You know,
No,
like,
nothing.
I remember, it's so eerie, dude. Like, while that was happening, 2020 as well, Michael Bloomberg dropped out of the U.S. Democratic presidential race after a disappointing showing during Super Tuesday. Yeah, isn't he the one who like constantly like did the commercials? Like,
he did commercials, but I don't know what you're referring to. But yeah,
like I don't remember who it was, but somebody literally back to back to back. Like, there's more often than not 2, even 3 commercials.
It would have been him. Yeah, because
like, I'm Michael Bloomberg and I approve this message. I'm Michael Bloomberg and I approve. It's just like, oh, blah 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 blah. Like, oh my God, shut up. And then in 2022, suspected suicide bomb attack on a Shia mosque in Pakistani city of Peshawar killed at least 56 and injured 190. Oh man, dude. Oh, hold on a second. This one is I don't want to say more important, but more interesting to me. 2022, 4-ton rocket debris crashed into the far side of the moon. Unconfirmed booster from China's Songjie mission 5T1 mission in first unintentional collision with the moon. How do you collide with the moon? Dumb. Inept.
Now we got crap on the moon, huh?
Yep.
Space junk on the moon. Great.
Yep. Anyway, audience, before I move on to the births and deaths, were there any articles that grabbed your attention more than most? Anything you wish we'd elaborated more about? Anything you would have liked to say had you been here? Start a dialogue in the comments section. You going to stick around?
I'll hang a bit.
All right. Gonna move on to the births, starting us off in 1188. We have Blanche of Castile, wife of Louis VIII of France, regent to son Louis IX, born in Palencia, Spain, died in, pardon me, 1292. Hold on a second, I'm gonna mute my mic, I need to sneeze.
Oh God! Sometimes you just get me off guard. I want to end up like Ed.
Ed! 1678, we have Antonio Vivaldi, bark violin virtuoso and composer of the Four Seasons, born in Venice, Venetian Republic, which is now Italy. Yep. We also have
Nothing of significance here.
Wow, come on, give me something.
Are you kidding me?
Wow, here we go. Richard DeVos, 1926, U.S. businessman who co-founded Amway, born in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Amway guy.
Yeah, what's Amway?
Oh, cleaning products and all kinds of stuff, but it was one of those pyramid type things.
Oh, pyramid scheme. Okay.
Not a scheme because you get people under you and then you get a percentage of theirs. So it's not. They have been accused of a pyramid scheme forever, but it's really not exactly.
That's kind of the definition of a pyramid scheme, what you described.
Yeah.
Getting people under you and taking a percentage.
Yeah.
That's where the real money's at. It's coming from people
But you're
that you
actually
bring in.
selling stuff and everything. You're not making money off of just pyramiding until there's no more people left.
It's just a pyramid scheme with extra steps.
Yeah.
It's a step pyramid.
Anyways.
Anyway, we got Jack Fisher, who's 84 today, born on this date in 1939. He is a U.S. MLB pitcher, born in Frostburg, Maryland. We also have Catherine O'Hara, 1954. She's 69 today. Happy birthday. She is a Canadian actress. The Home Alone movies and Schitt's Creek.
Oh.
Born in Toronto, Ontario.
That's who she is.
She's the one who screamed Kevin?
Yeah, gotta be the mom.
Home Alone. Or maybe she was the sister. Oh, no, she was the mom.
Yeah.
Oh, God. The left picture.
Well, she's aged a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know what year was Home Alone. It's got to be
1990 something.
yeah,
92.
so you're talking 30 years ago, 31,
Yep.
whatever it is.
There we go.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Well, happy birthday to you. We also have Jason Newston, 1963, a U.S. heavy metal bassist, Metallica. Nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. Born in Battle Creek, Michigan. That's a hell of a name of a city. Where were you born? Battle Creek. You know, Contest River.
Yeah.
Like the war wash. Blood was spilled. I don't know. We got Mike Krieger, 1986, Brazilian-U.S. entrepreneur and software engineer who co-founded Instagram, born in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Instagram.
Yep, which is now owned by Facebook. Thank you so much. Draymond Green, 1990, a U.S. NBA forward for the Golden State Warriors, born in Saginaw, Michigan. 33 today. Happy birthday. And then let's move on into deaths. Starting us off in 480, we have Saint Landry, French Bishop of Sees. The candy?
I don't think so.
We have Saladin, 1193, was the first Sultan of Egypt and Syria and the founder of the Ayyubide dynasty. Died of a fever at about the age of 55. He was the one who took Jerusalem from King Baldwin, or after King Baldwin the Fourth died to leprosy.
Oh.
Yeah, like the movie Kingdom of Heaven is based off of some actual historical events.
Okay.
Obviously, you know, Hollywood took a lot of liberties.
Of course.
But the basis of it, you know, did happen. There was a King Baldwin IV. He did contract leprosy. He did die, and then Saladin did lay siege and take Jerusalem. So, anyway, we got Matthew C. Perry, not to be confused with the actor Matthew Perry. Died on this date in 1858, was the Commodore of the United States Navy who opened Japan to Western influence and trade. Died of rheumatism at the age of 63. Well, that sucks. Then we have Alexander H. Stevens, 1883, a U.S. Vice President of the Confederate States from 1861 through 65. Died at the age of 71. Bye-bye. You know, bye-bye Confederacy. We don't want you. So, good riddance. Louis Buchholter, 1944, Jewish U.S. mobster, Murder Inc., executed at 47. Dang. I wonder if he was their accountant. I'm going to get canceled for that. And then we got Elizabeth Smart. She doesn't sound dumb. Died on this date in 1986, a Canadian author by Grand Central Station. I sat down and wept. That sounds sad. Died of a heart attack at the age of 72. Well, dang. That's unfortunate. John Candy, oh man, Canadian actor and comedian, SCTV, died on this date in 1994. He was in SCTV and Uncle Buck. Died of a heart attack at the age of 43. He was also that crazy guy in Home Alone. Speaking of Home Alone, he was the guy in the van. Remember at the end when she took the van home and then the father took the plane?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he was the band leader.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, John Candy.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep. We also have, who else died? Oh, wow. Boom, boom, boom. Keith Flint, 2019, English singer, musician, and dancer and prodigy, found dead after committing suicide at the age of 49. Rest in peace. Luke Perry, 2019, U.S. actor, Beverly Hills 90210 and Riverdale, died after a stroke at the age of 52. We spoke about his stroke last weekend.
He had a stroke, yeah, I remember that.
Ted Lindsay, 2019, Canadian Hockey Hall of Fame left wing, Art Ross Trophy of 1958, National Hockey League Players Association pioneer, died at the age of 93.
Well, at least he wasn't a right winger.
Well, I would have preferred that. Well, actually, no. Well, he's the left winger and he's dead. So, no, why'd you bring politics into this? You know it's unhealthy for me.
I'm just injecting a little Hume, very little.
Javier Perez de Cuellar, 2020, Peruvian diplomat, 5th Secretary General of the United Nations from 1982 through 91, and Prime Minister of Peru from 2000 to 2001, died at 100 years, 1920 to 2020. Nice. And last but not least, we have Shane Warne, died last year in 2022, was an Australian cricket spin bowler and broadcaster, 145 tests, 708 wickets, BB 8/71, 194 ODIs, Victoria CA, Hampshire Triple C, died from a heart attack at the age of 52, probably trying to figure out what the hell he did with his life.
The only thing I can understand there, died of a heart attack at 52.
Yeah.
Everything else.
Well, broadcaster.
True.
So, yeah.
Oh, man, it's a shame.
Yeah, rest in peace to all the deaths. Happy birthday to all the births. And that'll conclude the show. Once again, you can check the underbar of the description for any links you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. For your dose of past events daily, we stream every day at 10 in the morning Pacific Time, which is 11 Mountain, 12 Central, and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For all of you and all of us, I am Eo Xander.
Golden Moon.
And you are you, and until you catch us tomorrow, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!